Okay, this is my review on Cinderella 3. My favorite out of the Cinderella trilogy. I like this more than the first one. Cinderella 2 was good, but it wasn't as good as this one. It wasn't as good as the sequel. This is more of a worthy sequel because it actually tells a more better, complex story with of course more my animation, therefore the characters are more expressive, like Cinderella and Prince Charming. They're not as scary, expressive dolls like they were in the original, and that's what I like about the sequels. They don't look as scary looking. So I still like the first Cinderella movie. I still have a soft spot for it. But I have more of a soft spot for the third one. I picked it up. I remember when I first watched it, I picked it up at Hollywood Video and I rented it. And I watched it on the computer. It was an old run-down computer that my grandparents had. And I watched movies on that a lot all the time. And TV shows that I rented. So anyway, it's about the mean stepmother and two ugly stepsisters, villains again, and so they rewrite history, rewrite the beginning of the Cinderella story. So instead of Cinderella ending up with the prince, and Cinderella witnesses all of this, and how they do this because the mean stepmother steals the magic wand from the godmother, and rewrites history and pretty much the whole story. And it's up to Cinderella to set things right. And she just wants to know, before she decides to set things right, she's hesitated about it. Because she wants to know if one of the sisters, the sister that wants to marry the prince, she asks, do you love him? And she says, I want what you had, though. She says, well, I want what you had. And she says, okay, but do you love him? Basically, she's saying that's all that matters, you know. Forget her shoulders, forget about the whole saying things right. If, say, in a whole way, she's basically forget the whole saying. If she just says she loves here and now, and you know, the controlling stepmother speaks for her, saying love doesn't matter because she's very evil and one-dimensional and deliciously one-dimensional. So the prince is under a spell set by the stepmother. So he falls, instead of falling for Cinderella, he falls for one of the other stepsisters. And I like how they didn't make the one who wants the prince really a bad guy. Is not a bad guy. She actually feels like she cares more about someone other than herself. In ways that I felt like she was feeling a little flat and one-dimensional in the first one, and didn't really have any layers to her. So anyway, the things get set right, and one who sets them right, not Cinderella, not Prince Charming, after he finds out by the army of the mice is explain everything. He thinks that made total sense. He was easily convinced by the mice, talking mice. And they explained the song. It was a pretty rushed song. Hard to make out the words, like, you know, like really hard. The only thing you can make out was Cinderella and spell and under. Yeah, that's all I can make out. Let's anyway, you have better luck than I do. So anyway, where was I? So I lost the train of thought. Let's see. Oh, who sets the story right? The ugly stepsister who wants what Cinderella has because she realized she's not in love with a prince like Cinderella was. So she says things right, and don't worry, she gets her happily ever after also. And the other ugly stepsister and the stepmother go back to living in the crowded castle that the had Cinderella clean all the time, and it's all dark and depressing looking and disgusting looking now. So, yeah, and so Cinderella and the Prince Charming go back together again. They'll marry again after the history got rewritten the right way things used to be by one unlikely hero. Cinderella was one of Cinderella's ugly stepsisters who wanted Prince Charming. I can't remember what her name was. So, I bet no one really can remember what her name was. So, and yeah, so that's Cinderella 3. I'm giving you a 10 out of 10.